Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is August 20th, 2020, and this is my today's top 10. So I'm sure y'all have all heard the conspiracy and the picture circulating about the blue postal boxes being picked up all over the country, right? All over. And so I had concerns about this, like why all of a sudden are they going to start picking up these things? You know, we're supposed to be voting by mail, and now boxes are being picked up. So that was the conspiracy. Well, I started thinking even worse than this, and I'm going to get to my other top 10, but this is the leading article that I'm going to get into. Is the U.S. Postal Service explained why the mailboxes were rounded up in Brighton. Okay, there's no effort underway to reduce collection boxes. But we're seeing boxes being picked up everywhere, and they're not replacing them with any boxes. So guess what I thought of? In an oppressive country, what do? They control the flow of information. So they're blaming the COVID on lots of things. You know, we can't do this because of COVID. We got to stay locked in because of COVID. We can't go to school because of COVID. And we need a vaccine because of COVID. And money is dirty because of COVID.
So, let's retrace. You started growing your business with Fiverr, which has thousands of freelancers and hundreds of categories. But stop, after only one service? That's like leaving after the first inning of a baseball game. Like getting a manicure for just this finger. Like arriving at Bora Bora but never actually leaving the airport. I want a basics. Your favorite restaurant. Exiting the theater after the opening credits. Like going to the amusement park to only try the teacup ride. Buying the latest phone, using it as just a phone.
I'd like to deep dive into
what, Janice? Only completing the try in a triathlon. Sorry, that's not really trying at all. So go back to growing your business and get your website, voiceover, so
it will be able to control how much information you get out to other people. If the internet goes down and your only means of communication is to mail letters to people, to mail boxes to people, we get down in a shutdown situation and you need to mail somebody something. There won't be any boxes on the street corner. You'll be forced to have to go into the post office, and right then and there, they will decide if they're going to mail your stuff or not. So I think it's about the control of information and what they're going to allow to be gotten out and what's not going to be allowed to get out. Because the reason why I say that is I'm jumping ahead. Article number 2 says, employees say postal sorting machines in Phoenix are being unplugged. Okay? Employees tell me several machines have been decommissioned and that more are to follow. The assault on the post office apparently continues. This was from August 18th from the Arizona Central. Employees at the U.S. Postal Service say that at least 3 mail sorting machines have been taken out of service at the Phoenix Processing and Distribution Facility on Van Buren Street. The postal workers say the letter sorting machines were taken offline and disconnected electronically in the last 2 weeks, and that more are scheduled to be commissioned. Okay? I contacted the Postal Service and asked about the sorting machines being shut down. In an email, a Postal Service spokesman said, I'm not sure about the individual machines. The Postal Service routinely moves equipment around its network as necessary to match changing mail and package volumes. I'm sure it has not slowed down. So I got 2 more articles on this. And then we're going back to that first article about the boxes being picked up. Okay, so they're picking up boxes, so it's limiting the amount of mail that you can put in a box. And now they're shutting down the sorting machines that would move mail along. This is from KGW8. 7 UPS mail sorting machines dismantled in Portland. This is from yesterday, August 19th. The machines were dismantled around the same time several blue mailboxes removed from the city streets. 7 mail sorting machines have been dismantled at the U.S. Postal Service Portland's processing and distribution facility, according to multiple USPS employees. The machines were disconnected following a meeting with management and Postal Service employees on August 14th. 6 of those machines help sort letters, and another is a flat sorter, meaning it sorts items like magazines and booklets. Mail carriers KGW spoke with Wednesday, said they are gravely concerned about the impact that moving these machines can have on mail deliveries in the coming months. They are controlling the flow of information, and we're supposed to be doing mail-in voting for the presidential election, but this is going to not only affect the election, but take the election out of the equation, okay? That's just as a diversion. But if you can't mail somebody something, if you can't mail somebody money, if you can't mail somebody medication, if you can't mail somebody information about what's going on when the internet goes down, they are going to control our communication with each other. The UPS explains why mailboxes were rounded up in Brighton. So this is my second subject on the U.S. Postal Service. After a photo of mail collection boxes on a flatbed truck in Brighton quickly garnered significant attention on Twitter Friday, the Postal Service clarified the practice is a regular procedure for replacing worn-down boxes. Oh, you pick up one and you put another one back down. You don't send a truck around to pick everything up. And look, this is what I'm confused on this. By federal law, I thought all post boxes were supposed to be blue. Okay, so this confused me right here. But it says also we started an initiative back in October to replace every blue collection box in the state with our newer version that assists compliance with our aviation security program. I don't know nothing about an aviation security program with the USPS. These have a narrow slot and only accepts letter mail and forces anyone trying to mail a package over 13 ounces to take it to a post office and present it over the counter as our policy requires. And look at this about the mail sorting boxes. UPS headquarters tells managers not to reconnect the sorting machines, email shows. This is from today. So they're picking up boxes and they're shutting down the ability to move mail. Shortly after UPS Postmaster General Louis DeJoy issued a public statement saying he wanted to avoid even the appearance that any of his policies would slow down election mail, USPS instructed all maintenance managers around the country not to reconnect or reinstall any mail sorting machines they had already disconnected, according to emails obtained by Motherboard. Please message out to your respective maintenance managers tonight. They are not to reconnect, reinstall machines that have previously been disconnected without approval from HQ head maintenance, no matter what direction they are getting from their plant managers, wrote Kevin Couch, Director of Maintenance Operations. Please have them flow that request through you on to me for a direction. Okay? So, we are not to reconnect any machines that have previously been disconnected. So that's article number 2. They're about to curtail how much information we can move. Let's see. Let me get to this next one. So this is kind of along the same thing. Remember all the chickens that are getting burnt up and killed and slaughtered? Well, look at this. CBS Boston from today. Thousands of chicks arrived dead to New England farmers amid the USPS turmoil. So remember all the chickens that have been killed in fires, the thousands of chickens that were forcibly euthanized. And now they're blaming thousands of deaths on chickens on the Postal Service. Portland, Maine, at least 4,800 chicks shipped to Maine farmers through the Portland Postal Service have arrived dead in the recent weeks since rapid cuts hit the federal mail carrier's operations. Pingree, a Maine Democrat, is raising the issue of the dead chicks and the losses farmers are facing in a letter to Postmaster General Louis DeJoy and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Commissioner. Okay, so says usually they arrive every 3 weeks like clockwork, and 100 of those birds may have one or two die in the shipping. Henderson told the newspaper thousands of birds that moved through the Postal Service's processing center in Massachusetts were also dead, impacting several farms in Maine and New Hampshire. So there's so many concerns. Article number 4 is, now this, pay attention. I know this video is going to be much longer, but I've got some crazy information coming. This is from June 18, 2020. I just came across this, so 2 months ago. But look at this. This is from MSN News. Florida says this is fine to release genetically modified mosquitoes. Okay? Now watch what it's going to carry diseases. Has science found a way to cut down on mosquito-borne diseases? Or will life find a way to break free from human meddling a la Jurassic Park? That's the question hanging over a recent decision by state regulators in Florida, which would allow the biotech company Oxitec to unleash hundreds of millions of genetically modified male mosquitoes in the Florida Keys. The lab-altered patented insects are members of, a species of mosquitoes that spread. They are a member of a species of mosquitoes that spread diseases such as yellow fever, malaria, chikungunya, However, they've been genetically altered to artificially reduce future mosquito populations. Y'all, stop. They've genetically modified a species of mosquito that carries diseases such as yellow fever and malaria. Guess what? They could genetically modify this mosquito to carry the virus, couldn't they? Couldn't they? Look at this. It sounds like a bit of mad science, but it's actually all about love, actually. The plan is to unleash millions of genetically modified males so that they can hook up with all the lady mosquitoes and produce artificially weak offspring that never grow up, thereby reducing the overall population. No, I think their plan is to use the mosquitoes to further spread this pandemic. Article number 5, Germany launches universal basic income experiment. I think we're all about to see this. I think we're all going to be given a little bitty allowance from our government each month. Okay? It says those who've signed up will receive equivalent of US $1,430 per month for 3 years, just above Germany's poverty line. Okay? Then they're testing. This is a social experiment to see how much we need to live on. This article is from today. Australia's 5 and 10 cent coins are going to disappear as the pandemic ushers in the cashless society. Australia's 5 and 10 cent coins could bite the dust as the coronavirus pandemic has supercharged the decline of coin circulation. Okay, now, right at the beginning of this, the virus outbreak, I did videos on the U.S. mints that were closing down. And I said back then that this was very suspicious that the U.S. mint was shutting down. They purposely quit printing coins in America for a little while. And Now Australia is having a coin shortage. Everything is changing, from our ability to move mail out to our ability to have income. Now we're going into a cashless society. They're pushing us into a controlled environment. This is article number 7 from yesterday by Paul Joseph Watson. Melbourne authorities to use surveillance drones to catch people not wearing masks. So this is like a sci-fi movie. We're going to have drones flying overhead, making sure we're in compliance. And it's going to have facial recognition. They're going to know who you are. Article number 8, Saudi Arabia breaks silence, tentatively embraces Israel's and United Arab Emirates peace deal. We're going into uncharted, biblically prophetic times. Article number 9, Florida tops 10,000 COVID-19 deaths. New York City Teachers Union demands mandatory testing before start of school. Live updates. Mandatory testing for students and teachers. And then the last article, Australia Prime Minister puts citizens on notice. All will likely undergo mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations. For those fearing that the prior state-enforced social distancing and lockdown protocol, which hit a peak in early summer, from arresting surfers on empty beaches to telling people they can't even jog, to police detaining moms for merely letting their children play on taxpayer-bought public playgrounds, would only too easily hastily transition to forced vaccination regimen the moment one is rushed out, despite the safety or the various potential long-term side effect unknowns. Okay, it says, no doubt other developed nations will eventually follow suit. Australians are likely to face mandatory coronavirus vaccines if Prime Minister Scott Morrison gets his wish. The nation is a step closer to gaining access to a vaccine, with the federal government securing an international deal to produce vaccine frontrunner locally if trials succeed. If that happens, Mr. Morrison expects Australians will have to undergo mandatory vaccinations, and no doubt other developed nations will eventually follow suit. Given, as we've detailed, we're already to the point of colleges, schools, and office spaces, and in many instances requiring as a condition of a return to campus or work. So they're going to say, oh, we're not going to force you to take it, but if you want to have income, if you want a job, if you want your kids to get an education, we're going to get you in a stranglehold like Ted Nugent. I got you in a stranglehold, baby. You're going to do what we want you to do. And they're going to have a smile on their face while they got you in a stranglehold. And when you act out, they'll say, why are you so upset? It's for your good. So I just want to bring y'all this. Our ability to move information is going to get squashed. They're shutting down machines that sort our mail, removing the mailbox where we can mail our mail. And it's not about the election. You think they're ever going to put it back? It's to control us and our ability to exchange information. They're killing our chickens. I've done all kind of videos on the famines that's coming and the food shortages and the farmers' losses and the crop losses. So we are moving into very perilous times. Y'all stay awake, aware, and watching what's coming down the pike. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.